Good hot Sunday early afternoon to you all. Yes, it's getting too damn hot. We just got back from the Jewett City Flea Market, and then on the way home we stopped at the Dollar Tree and I got some sunbeam batteries and a few other little things. I get this orange cleaner for $1. Works good on caterpillars. And a smaller bug zapper, and it works quite well, 3,000 volts. Anyhow, I didn't get much today. I picked up one item that I'll show you in the shop, and I got the air conditioner running in the shop. I picked up one item that's been kicking around at the flea market for at least a year that I'm aware of, and I'll show it to you very shortly. But other than that, nothing much. Tommy bought a few DVDs, you know, and nothing to really show off on a video. But let me take you into the shop. We're doing this in HD, so I'm planning on not making a very long video. And let me show you what I picked up. I don't know if it's really worth bothering with, but it's interesting. Hang on a minute. You may remember seeing this in a previous video of the Jewett City Flea Market, and actually it was up at Mansfield Drive-In Theater also by the same vendor. This poor little guy has been kicking around here since last year at the whatever flea markets this guy goes to, usually Mansfield and Jewett City. So we didn't go to Mansfield this week. We went to the Jewett City Flea Market. And the first time I saw this last year, the guy wanted $20 for it, which I wasn't interested in it. Then he dropped it down to 10, and I walked away. Do I need it? No. But today I got it, and he says $5. So I couldn't pass it up. What it is, and let me get you a close-up, it's a JVC CRAIG. And the interesting part about this is it has a schematic right here. A CRAIG hand quarter. Made in Japan, of all places. Not China, Japan. And the schematic is actually quite readable if you magnify it quite a bit. It's relatively clear. It uses 6 volts and 9 volts. Has a little catch on the back that you release the bottom cover on. I've already removed the battery holders, and I'll show them to you in a little bit here, and they're very corroded. They take AA's. This pack here takes 4. This one takes 6. So 4 is for the motor, and the 9 volts is for the amplifier, and it's looks like germanium transistors in it. I would venture to say this is probably the early 60s that this came out. 3-inch capstan drive. Battery condition button. Battery indicator. I don't know whether that's a record level or not, but it is a battery indicator. I do know that. Meter's a little loose in there, or the face is loose, one or the other. One little speaker here. It came with tape, which I had was a little tangled up. I took the wheels off, but the battery compartments are really corroded, so I'm not quite sure how to deal with that other than scraping it. I don't know, maybe I can soak it in something. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is oil. I really don't know that much about how to get rid of corrosion or anything. Probably could put it in some oil or something. Let me open these up and show you. Okay, they open up like this. And cover. And it takes 4 AA's. You can see that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. This is the 6-volt one, and this is the 9-volt one. Cover. I doubt I'll be able to get that off. If you soak it in anything, you're going to lose this. So, like all these things, the batteries have been left in. There was no batteries when I got it, but the damage is already done. So, I guess I can spray some WD-40 on the contacts and let it sit. And maybe I can get it cleaned up that way to neutralize the acid. And you can't seem to get this head cover off. I feel something in there. I think it might be a couple screws. Yeah, there is. It would have to be. The screws are very close to the body. Now, I'm hoping this is not a full track recorder. I have some 3-inch reels that were recorded on a half-track recorder, and if this is a half-track, I'll be able to play them. Although some of them were done on a non-capstan drive tape recorder. This is a capstan drive, so the speed is only going to be correct in part of the tape, maybe in the halfway point or something. So I won't know if this is a full track or a half track. Of course it isn't going to be stereo, so we know that. But it'll either be a half track, in other words, you record on one direction until you get to the end and you flip both wheels over and you record on the other track. If this is a full track, then we're right back to square one. I can't play my small tapes. So, for $5, that's all I paid for it at the Jewett City Flea Market. I figured we'll check it out. What I'm going to do now is I've got my heavy-duty power supply. Then I've got my $10 I bought last year, B&K, like brand new, 1 amp, 18 volt, 0 to 18 volt power supply, so I can supply the 9 volts with this and supply the 1.5 volts with this, with these connectors under here. The red one is for the 9 volts, and the blue one is for the 6 volts. Although it's not marked here, but that's the orientation. These went down like this. No, these went this way, I'm sorry. These ribs with a battery contours, you know, the round half moon, goes down. So this receptacle here matches the red one here. So we're going to supply 9 volts here and 6 volts here, and I believe this is the motor. And we're going to see if we get any life out of this. Okay, I've got this power supply supplying these 9 volts. Close enough, 9.04. And now I'm going to set this one to 6 volts. So I'll do that off camera. We're going to take the meter and put it on the other, on these test leads here, and set this for 6 volts. And we'll give it a try, see if we get any life out of it. We're going to make the clips connections right here. We're going to have to add clip leads to the 9 volts because we can't quite reach it. We'll do all this off camera and we'll fire it up on camera here when I'm all hooked up. So I got the recorder cover closed because I got connections in the back and not going to be able to lay this down without shorting out all my clips here. So let's put it on play. But before we do that, I'm sorry if it's upside down, but I have no choice. As you can see, I'm just got the leads like that. So we got the volume about halfway up. I just want to make sure there's take up here. We'll put it into play. Looks like it's taken up okay. There may not be anything on the tape too. There's a hiss coming out of it. Got a lot of reflection on this camera. I can't see the viewfinder too good. Alright. Well, it's got some life in it. As you can see down in there, everything's upside down, of course. You can see the tape moving in there. The tape has probably been bulk erased. So we'll stop the recording now. I'll let this go through and see if it has anything at all on it. Rather than to waste a lot of video time, we'll come back on this video if there is anything on this tape. Well, obviously it's working, but the speed is off. I don't know if the capstan has a sleeve on it or not. I got to inspect that. It was probably recorded at 1 7/8". This is 3 3/4 right now that it's running at. So let me stop that. And I'm going to have to shut my power supplies off or disconnect that. I'll probably just disconnect these leads for now and see if I can get the speed changed on this. Good news, I just pulled on this and it came right off. So now we're down to 1 3/4. The capstan sleeve comes off. So we're going to give it a try again now. But before I do, I want to clean this before running the tape again. So this is removable. And it snaps in. There's a little ridge on the top of the capstan here. You may not be able to see that even with the camera set on macro. But we'll do this magnifying here. It snaps in, so it's very important not to lose this piece here. So we're set now with supposedly 1 7/8". With this on it, it brings the speed up to 3 3/4. Now most of the stuff that I have were done in 3 3/4, but I did a lot on 1 7/8". But right now I don't have access to my 3-inch reels in the shop. They're in a box in the main shed. Probably Uncle Dorkle's sitting on top of the boxes. And it's too damn hot. The weather is getting brutal. So we're not going to do that. We're going to play this tape here. I have no idea what's on it. But we're going to play it a little bit here just to let you hear it. And if I locate my tapes, I may let you hear those in the future, but let's just go one thing at a time here. We still don't know if this is half track or full track. And I doubt you'll find any literature on the internet about this. Okay, let me get this camera on a tripod and we'll play this tape now that we got the speed set. Yeah, 1 7/8". Okay, are you ready? I am. Let's put this on. The volume control needs cleaning, of course. Sound like it was recorded outside in a crowd. Or in a big room. The volume controls got to be cleaned with deoxit. The motor's not showing hardly any current draw at all. It's just maybe 100 mils. And the amp is about, you know, it's hard to read that. Maybe 100 mils or 200 mils. It's an analog meter, and it's reading way down the bottom of the scale on both of those power supplies. Not exactly clear, but a lot of these recorders had crappy microphones too. I know I had my share of them. And some of the real cheapies, the transistor ones, came with a lapel mic, crystal high impedance. And they were really horrible. They're tinny because you're feeding high impedance crystal microphone into a low impedance transistor audio amplifier. So what I used to do on those cheap tape recorders, as time went on, as I learned a little more, that I used dynamic microphones and have even used speakers with an audio output transformer, running a 8-ohm speaker to an output transformer and taking the output transformer and feeding it into the input of the tape recorder, and I got better sound out of that than the lapel mic. It has rewind but not fast forward. Let me hit a little deoxit in here. The volume control is, this is a metal cabinet case, and I'd have to pull all the guts out to get it, but sometimes you can hit the deoxit and work the control around. Let me just stop that a minute. Probably got to get, you know, sometimes you can get it into the control that way, but usually you have to take it out. All right. Oh, I knocked off the motor lead, power lead. It doesn't work too well with without motor power. A little better, but I got to get the deoxit. I got to get the deoxit right in the control, and I have to pull it all apart to do that. It's very hard to, I turned the volume down. It is very hard to, the hell's the matter with my mind here? I went blank. To find out how good it sounds, unless I play a known tape on it. I believe there's probably a lot of wow and flutter, but these aren't made for music anyways. These are primarily voice recorders. There's no fast forward, as I said. So there's a rewind, so I gotta take the tape and turn it around and rewind it. But I'm not going to waste a lot of video time. I just wanted to show you my $5 tape recorder. Not bad for something that's probably 50 years old. It's got plenty of volume. Let me just turn this. I may lose my connections down here, but let me try to turn it here a little so you can see. The level indicator don't seem to be doing anything. It's a battery indicator. I think that's all it is, because this is a battery test button here. You see the needle going over? Okay. Not bad for $5 with the schematic. It's a Craig hand quarter model TR-403. My $5 flea market pickup for today. I just got to figure out what I can use to clean these off. I guess you'd soak the whole thing and hope for the best for the battery markings here. Generally speaking, if these get destroyed, let me turn this down. If these get destroyed where you can't read them anymore, the positives always go to these little buttons here, and the springs go to the negative. So if you remember that, that's usually the way you do it. A lot of times too, I don't have a red magic Sharpie, but I'll usually put a red dot in these places. However, nothing can be done until this is cleaned up. And I would like to really use these if I can, because they'll fit right in there. If you try to get an aftermarket one, it's a low profile, it may not fit in there. And they got these slide covers that go right in. That's it, folks. On this hot day, on this hot Sunday, take care, everybody. We're going to put this video together so you'll have something to be bored with.